G'day. Some thoughts on cycle touring and global warming. I think that's what I've got written down here. Yeah, that's it. Well, just got back from a European trip, cycle touring with some friends around northern Italy and France. Had a fabulous time really, but the biggest issue we had was the heat. Well, I did anyway, and a couple of friends. The girls seemed to think it was fine and wasn't an issue, but it really was an issue. It was super hot. You had to drink lots of water. You could hardly get enough water in you. Sometimes the daytime temperatures were around 30, 35 degrees, and the nighttime temperatures dropped down to maybe 25 or something, so it was really hot all day. So when we had to do long distances with all the panniers and things on, it was a real battle to get enough water. Like I had like a 750 ml bottle and maybe a litre bottle. Just go through those in no time, and then you're furiously trying to find fountains in towns to fill up water. Try to avoid buying water if possible, because the water coming in the fountains and the little taps and everything was pretty good, the nice mountain water. I'm quite sure if this camera is level. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So the biggest problem with cycle touring, I think, especially in June, July and August, the hottest months in Europe, is the temperature. It's just so unrelentingly hot at times. The heat waves come and go, sure, but the heat waves last for 2 or 3 weeks. That's a long time to be, around the 30 degree mark when you're cycling. It's really bloody hot. So that was the biggest issue I had. I would probably recommend people to travel in the fringe seasons, either, middle of spring or autumn, late summer, autumn sort of times. Maybe that'd be a bit better. As the world is affected by global warming, this is only going to get worse. Like the heat waves are going to be more severe, and in turn it makes touring on push bikes even harder still. It's really, 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 really hot, so it's a difficult situation. It's not really going to get better because Donald Trump has just thrown away the Paris Agreement. They've just exited the whole thing. Other things too, our Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, all he's interested in is money from coal mines. He couldn't give a shit about the climate. It's just a short-term money fixes for the budget so it looks good and he might get re-elected so we can just do more fucking ridiculous bullshit. The stupid idiots. There's a report came out a little while ago. Some of the government MPs oppose a central recommendation of the Finkel review of a 28% clean energy target on the basis that it's too ambitious, we lock in too much renewable energy into the system. What? What the fuck? We need renewable energy in the system. It's the only way to save the fucking planet. These idiots just say, oh, there's too much renewable energy, it's going to make it unreliable. Fuck off, just get batteries and shit and do it. Australia is well poised to be a world leader. We could export power to Indonesia if we wanted to. If we put heaps of solar farms and wind farms up the northwest coast of Australia, we could sell heaps of power to Asia. That's where we should be heading, not this bloody bullshit about, oh, it's going to be unreliable if we have too many solar panels. I've been off grid here for over 20 years. Fantastic. We don't burn any coal. I can do it. 3 kids and, 5 adults and whatever, you can just fucking do it. Anyway, back to this Finkel report. The modelling says the Finkel trajectory would see Australia's electrician emissions being phased out between 2095 and 2101, a time frame that is inconsistent with the Paris goal of limiting warming by 2 degrees, or reaching carbon neutrality by the mid-century. Out of step, that's 50 years out, man. The report says a clean energy target of 45% would deliver zero emissions from electricity by 2045, which is similar to the Paris timetable. Now, they want to do... The government's arguing that under 30% is too much, and we need at least 45% to meet the Paris Agreement. So, in a way, Trump says, fuck the Paris Agreement. So does Turnbull. That's what he's doing without actually saying, oh, we're leaving the Paris Agreement. I'll send all these people over at a huge taxpayers' expense to Paris and sign all these things and pat ourselves on the back, and we're doing our bit for it. And they don't really give a fuck at all. They just waste taxpayers' money travelling over to these bloody things and coming back, and we don't do fucking anything about it. It's going to be too late. 50 years late. The other thing is, with Trump saying that he wants to leave the Paris Agreement, doesn't believe in global warming. We've had all this rain in Houston recently. In the Gulf of Mexico, it's 2 degrees higher than it was 10 years ago. This results in more moisture in the clouds and heavier rainfalls. And the prevailing winds are slowing, so they don't blow these systems away as much. Another interesting thing I heard about the Texas flood was that there's a whole area which is below the dam, the high dam levels, some of the dams. So they're actually, because they thought, oh, this is kind of pretty cheap land, let's put some people on it, and hopefully we'll be able to spill water out, use water out of the dam, and it won't go up to the spillway level, because if it does, these homes are going to be underneath the level of the fucking dam. I mean, hello, you don't build houses under the high water mark, surely. But in America, you fucking do. So the Australian government is basically beholden to the coal lobby. They take them out, wine and dine them, Penfolds, Grange, whatever, and they tick off on these things. Oh yeah, look, it's great. It doesn't help the economy at all. I mean, if you get derive much income from like selling iron ore or coal, where's the industry and stuff? I mean, we just buy all our stuff from overseas now. We don't manufacture much stuff at all. It's a real shame. Like riding through Italy, you actually notice like all the factories are full. We go down the back streets out of towns and whatever, and the factories are pumping out stuff. They make a lot of their stuff domestically, and the beauty of non-English speaking countries is that they're slightly immune from the fucking bullshit that comes out of America and England and Australia and any of the English speaking countries, especially America. So they just do their own thing. They're kind of isolated from it. Protest against Trump. I mean, a lot of people should protest against Malcolm Turnbull and the coal industry in Australia, which is unsustainable, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Australia is so well poised to be a leader in renewable energy. I mean, we should have solar farms all through bloody, the fringes of the deserts and the cities in Australia, and we could be 100% renewable, no worries at all, with good battery technology, battery backups and things like that. Every house could have a little battery. Who knows, but it should be from renewable. I mean, we've got the technology now for solar. We just need to encourage solar farms rather than coal. We could fucking do it, So get on your bike, put solar panels on your roof, and lobby the government to get out of coal wherever you live in the planet. Go for it.